So this is my thoughts on Tyson Fury versus Francis Ngannou. Watched the fight. Thought it was good for what it was. Obviously, it was shocking. Um, definitely due to that third round knockdown by Francis Ngannou. Caught him with a beautiful left hook on top of his head. A quick catch and shoot shot. You know, had Tyson Fury on the ground, just looking like he didn't know what the hell happened. Um, but I do think that knockdown was due to obviously um, I think he was looking down on Francis Ngannou, like for real, for real. I don't think he really trained for that fight like he said he did. He said he did 12 weeks, but I went back and watched like two of his other fights, one versus Dillian White, and the last one versus Derek Chisora, and I'm just looking like, obviously, his punches were a lot sharper. He was a lot more on the mark. He's hitting things where it counted. But but in this fight, just the way he was just doing everything was just sloppy. So I don't know what the way he was doing for 12 weeks, but it wasn't a consistent training camp. Um, Maybe weight loss. That was about it, but not not a sharpening camp. Did he lose this fight? No, I do think he did win by a thread. I did think the judges kind of had it right, even though it was shaky. It is still a moral win for Francis Ngannou. Obviously, UFC, mixed martial arts, MMA kind of made us look bad that night. Tyson didn't take it as seriously as Ngannou. Now, the one thing is after the third round, Ngannou had like not the same level of success that he had in that third round. He had bursts, and those bursts didn't come too much, I would say. So that's the thing with him. He kind of almost burnt the load and didn't knew how to fight in those small pockets of those rounds. See, and I understand we all emotionally, reacted because we saw the knockdown and we say he lost the fight. But Francis Ngannou wasn't doing too much in those other rounds after that. Like, so that that fourth, fifth, and sixth, seventh round was getting eaten up because Tyson Fury was maintaining distance with a jab, still throwing out the right hand here and there. Just touching Ngannou every now and then with shots. He was still had more activity than Francis Ngannou throughout the full fight. Emotionally, yeah, he won emotionally, but um, factually, Fury did win that by a hair. But I can tell you, he wasn't motivated or up for that fight like we think he was. At least it didn't seem like it. He seemed a lot more sharper in those other fights. So I just think that he probably underestimated this guy. Like, hey, this guy, he probably was looking at all his, his UFC fights, and even though he was training with, we seen him training with Tyson and everything, like, you know, he probably thought he was gonna come in there throwing that sloppy combos and just weird, awkward punches that he could easily, find. But no, he sharpened up a few things. So he was pretty calculated in there. He didn't He didn't look tired, and clearly from the shot that landed that knocked Tyson Fury down, he has power. So it barely even looked like it landed, like flush. But he still knocked Fury down from that. So you could tell, like, if he just sharpens up, maybe if he has like another fight, maybe a couple more, I don't know, maybe two, he can really settle in and get sharpen up his skills, and he could take another crack at Fury again. Cause yeah, now of course Fury not gonna fight the same way if they meet again. Obviously, he's gonna be a lot more sharper. If they meet again, he's gonna be probably, doing a lot more with his jab, um, setting up shots a little bit more intelligently. He'll be a little bit more sharper with his right or whatever like that. Like, so I can see him, if he approaches that rematch, being different. And obviously, you know, Francis Ngannou, the sky's the limit from here. He could take on maybe a Derek Chisora, you know, go to Usyk where I don't know, take on one of those guys. Fight him and see you go from there. So get him, really in there and get him used to the waters. Yeah. So as of now, I'm sure like when it comes to Usyk and Fury, um, that fight's probably not gonna happen when it's gonna happen. I know there were talks it would happen on December 23rd, but I just can't see it. Um, Obviously, he gonna have to be a lot more sharper, but he's probably gonna take some time off. And he did get down in that, and he probably needs to mentally go off and whatever. And if he said 12 weeks, I mean that's still a long time. So who knows what he has to do? So we're probably not gonna see that fight until next year, maybe like February or something like that, or March. So other than that, as far as Usyk getting the Fury, I mean, I think Usyk has a little bit more stock behind him now to beat Fury. I think this kind of makes Usyk look like the favorite in a way, come going into that fight. Um, if they just see how sloppy Usyk is, just off that alone, and they look at the intensity of Usyk and like, yeah, he can probably take out Fury, and now would be that time. Now would be that time. So I can't wait for that fight. You know, I'm going for Usyk in that fight. Um, I do think he has what it takes to beat Fury, and that's even before this fight. I do think he has what he needs to take out Fury. But I'll break that more down when we get if the fight is actually announced. Other than that, quick boxing news. Yeah, that's about it for that. As far as that's concerned, um, yeah, I mean there was talks of Deontay Wilder possibly fighting Francis Ngannou, but that's neither here nor there. I mean, we don't know what's gonna happen from that, because I don't know. Those talks always like fall apart when they come to Wilder. So it's just always something. So, we'll see. But other than that, just enjoy your day or whatever like that.